Hey guys, it's me Ram here, and welcome back to another episode of X-Cubers 1 Scramble. In today's episode, we've got 33 Sq-1ers to do 1 Scramble. So without any further ado, here's the Scramble at the top of the screen now.
Alright, so the method I use is Vandenberg with PBL and CSP. So I'll start tracing. So I got so 1, 2, 3. So let's say we got odd. So that is the good case for this case. So I do U prime, slice, then move this over, and then we just have shield, what's it called? Shield fist, yeah. See these two, D, just slice. I do U to D, and then into this EO. And then, I just have this PBL. So yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Vicenzo, and for this scramble we got a really bad CSP case. It is a 6 slicer and it does not have good finger tricks at all. But fortunately we got the best version of this bad CS case, and because of the tracing, of course, I traced 0 for this one, which means that it's a good solution. So it starts by doing a -3 on the top, slash. And here, after doing the slash here, instead of changing parity here, we just continue normally, and then parity is solved. So just continue normally. And then for CO, 2 corners on the top and diag on the bottom, just solve it like this. Then 3 edges on the top and 3 on the bottom, just solve it here. And here comes the interesting part of this solution. We got N perm and G perm on the bottom, and it is a really easy PBL, actually, nothing much here, just doing JJ from this angle will get you into JN, so JJ and then JN. But here comes the most fancy thing of this solve, probably. Instead of doing with your hands on this position, doing slash D, you can start with your hands in this position and do slash D prime. And doing a D prime in this position will avoid you needing to do a D2 on the end of the solve, because if you don't D, you would need to do U2 D2, and here doing a D prime will avoid you this D2, and then you just have to do U2 for ABF. So thank you everyone for watching.
Okay, this is the scramble, so I will do cube shape like this. And that's easy, 1 slice EO and this EO, and I see diagonal swap on bottom layer, and it's UV PBL. So my solution for this PBL is JJ to JR.
Alright, I traced odd for this scramble, so I would solve it by putting it into fist shield, in the back, like this. For the CO, I'll do a U2, like that, L line. And here for this PBL, I can see that I can do EP before CP to force adjacent, and J-perms, and that's it.
So here's the scramble. I traced odd with blind tracing. So for this cube shape, we'll do a Y2, and then our goal is to make pa in the back and solve that. So we have to go shield fist like that, make this shape, pa, and solve it in the back. And now for CO, do a 4 on the bottom, solve that, and then do 3-3 case, and I see this bar right here. So now we have T on the top and this bar for J. So bring that towards the front, and we'll do that towards the back to break it up. So now we have JN, and I see orange here and here. So we'll do a JN like this towards that side to solve the bottom, and then U2.
Okay, so here's a scramble. The cube shape is fist muffin, which I honestly hate this cube shape, but I'm gonna have to do it anyway. And I traced odd, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off by pairing up this pair with this pair to make a shield. Now I have shield fist, and I'm gonna move this over, pair this line up with the shield, and then turn it into pawn, like so. Next I have this easy CO case, just 3 slices like that. And then next I have 3-3 for EO. And then now I have an A perm on top, U perm on bottom. I can do 2 CP PBL here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do sort of a U prime and then a D2. And if I misalign the A perm like this and a U perm like this, I can do JJ. And now I have another JJ, and I'm going to rotate like this, and then just do the JJ with a bar flip, and the out goes like this.
Okay, so for this cube shape, I'm going to do Scout Kite, and I see these headlights, so I can preserve them if I do Scout Kite from the back. And then I see these headlights have formed, and it's a 1 slice CO, so I know that since these headlights are formed and these headlights are formed, that once I'm done CO, my CP will be solved on bottom. So yeah, CP solved on bottom. EO case, then for this case, I know the PLL, so I know that once I do my CP on top, that it will be a U perm, and like I said, it will be U perm, and...
Okay, so this is the cube shape, and the way I'd solve it is like this, and just scallop, and then we've got 1 slice CO, and then for this, EO, I see that like the corners, it's a diag swap on bottom, and I have 2 algs for this. One of them preserves corners and one of them doesn't. So I don't want to end up with a diag swap, so I'm going to do my alternate alg, which is like honestly just as fast, maybe even faster than my normal alg. But yeah, so we have diag J adjacent instead. And then this is actually an easy PBO, so I'm going to do that and cancel into equator shape.
What's up, this is Cubemaster or Sam Fang, and here is my example solve. Alright, so here's the scramble. I got fist and mushroom, not the greatest case. The way I solve it is do U prime, slice, D slice to get 3-3 on bottom, and then 1 more slice to get the 2 on top to make pawn. I also traced CSP and it was even, so I have to make the pawn through the back and solve it that way. So for CS I have 3 slices to pawn. I solve the pawn with thumb on bottom, so I do 1, 2, 3. My thumb should be on top to start this CS solution, just to make my CS regripless. So start like this, slice, D, slice, D, slice to make pawn, and then solve it like this. PCOP is this piece, which is white, so look ahead that piece. This is white from look ahead, and from the last slice we know this is white, so just do U2 D prime slice. Didn't quite get the EO for the bottom layer, so can't look ahead it. Just look down. It's going to be the 3 case, so D, U2. And then just do 3-3. I see a huge block on the left side, which is nice. And on top it's going to be adjacent corners, so we're going to get an edge corner case. So for the PBL, of course we're expecting this block to be solved, and it gives a J perm, top is a T perm. It's not a horrible case, 9 slices for PBL. Do a D to prepare an M perm on bottom, and then a U to prepare a J perm on top. Here do 2 CP PBL, JJ first, and then JN. Do it with D prime first to skip to ADF. There, done.
Okay, so this scramble isn't the best cube shape, but I traced good CSP on it. So I did that to get scallop fist. Then I realigned, finished cube shape like that. And this isn't the best case for CO EO, but for OBL it's actually pretty nice. It's one slice to this case, which is just, you know, one slice to that case, and that's a 2-slicer. And all you have left is good BB, which you could angle like this and do adjacent, which is nice because the equator isn't flipped, but in this solve, I chose to do the 5-slicer, cancel into the equator flip. So, like that. And yeah.
So for this cube shape, we have fist mushroom, and when I CSP trace, I actually will flip it over so I have mushroom on top and fist on bottom. It's not really necessary to do this, but it's the way I've always done it, and it just kind of helps me do it a little bit faster. I use blind tracing, so that means that I basically have, for each cube shape, I have an idea of where each piece would be in a solved position, and I will count the number of swaps between pieces until I have a solved reference scheme. So in this case, I would, and I count only odd or even because that's all that matters. I don't need to memorize where anything is either, which is great. So I would count 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and then from here, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So I have odd. And when I have odd on mushroom fist, I pay attention to if this is a good fist or a bad fist. And I would call this a good fist. If I have 1 on a good fist, I will do my standard algorithm for this, which involves orienting myself back so that I have the fat slice on the right, as you always should. Then I will bring this over, and I will have it so that I slice down on this edge, corner, edge being preserved, like this, to get me into shield fist, which was one of the first cube shapes that I learned for some reason, which I almost always solve in this orientation. And when I'm moving this over, I notice, so I solve my shield fist so that with my standard algorithm so that this gets preserved, so I know my CO on the left is going to be solved, which means I can actually do some predictions of where my corner orientation is going to be during my cube shape algorithm. So I would do this like this, and I see I have this corner right here. This is my, so I have this corner right here and this corner here. These will not be affected, but when I move this to my slice, it's going to move it here, so that the next time I slice it, it'll come back up here. So I remember that my next slice is going to bring this up here after I solve cube shape. So I go like this, and I see that I have this cube shape, and if I want to solve the CO, I remember my corner is going to come up to here, so I will do a 4, 0, slash, 4, U, slash. And right here I have 3, 3, so I would just do the 3, 3 EO, which I use a standard alg for. Now we have JG, and I don't know the letters for each of them. It's like J something and G, probably C or something, I don't know. What I do here is I just align them so that the blocks get preserved, and I do NN into JJ. But so that is going to be 7 slices, which is an odd number, and I have no equator flip, which means I'm going to have to flip the equator some point. So what I'll do is I'll just do NN usually, and then I will do a JJ with flip. There are multiple algs to do this, but my favorite one that I've remembered is one where I line it up with the bar on the right and the bar in the back, and the slice aligned to the layers aligned to the slice with the blocks, and I do slash U. And what it'll do is it'll actually, the AUF will be so that this lines up here, so that these pieces will remain the same for the AUF. So I'll have a U2 DAUF. The alg for this JJ with flip is pretty cool. It's slash U prime slash D prime slash D slash. And like I said, it's going to be a U2 DAUF.
Okay, let's track CSP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so for this case, it's not that great to be honest, but I usually turn this into shield fist, and then to pawn, and then fist. Okay, so So go like this. Okay, in this position I'll do a D prime like this to avoid doing a D2. Okay, Ado, do the EO. Then now, see these two bars? If I don't misalign it, it will be opposite. I want it to be adjacent so that I get edge. And there's a slice thing, AUF.
Okay, so for CSP I use Kale's method, so in an actual solve I'd start tracing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since as the cube shape case it's fist mushroom, what I always do for that is basically reduce it to perpendicular edges on one layer and 3, 3 on the other layer. And since I have odd, for this case I would pair these two edges up with these. If I had even, I would pair these two up next to this. But since I have odd, it looks like that. Now we can easily just solve pawn with 3 slices. And then for CO, I see these 2 yellow and these 2 yellows, so we can easily bring them up like that. Now we have 3 whites and 3 yellows, so my alg looks like this. Now for CP, I see that we have matching corners on the left for both layers, so I can bring those in front and do JJ. And lastly, we just have a clockwise U-perm on both layers with the slice flip. Pretty nice alg, looks like this. And we are done.
Okay, so for this cube shape, I would probably do something like this to get to this shape, and then like this to get to this. So from here, you can either go into pawn like this in the front or in the back, and that depends on what you trace for CSP. And for me, I trace that I should do it in the back to force no parity. So from here, just solve the rest like this. So for CO, go like this. So then for this EO case, when I do it, it's going to swap these 2 corners and these 2. So we're going to end up with solved corners on bottom and then an opposite swap on top. Alright, so we're left with V-perm on top and solved on bottom. And there's actually a good alg for this with the bar flip, but I don't know it, so this is what I'll do. It works well also. So I would do JJ in the front like this, and then that leaves us with RJ, and the alg will actually do the bar flip for us.
So I'm using CSP with the tracing method, so I counted 11. To solve that, I have to bring these 2 to the bottom, like so, and then connect these 2 with these 2 pieces, and solve the rest of the cube shape. Then U to D prime slash EO. And then to solve TJ, I can do 2JJ, or since the bar is flipped, I'm gonna use JN and then JJ. So I'm placing like that, JN, U2, JJ.
Okay, so I don't do CSP, by the way. Sorry. Okay, so I do, to solve this cube shape, I do 1 slice like this, and then it's scallop fist, and then I can do 2 slices to scallop kite like this, and then I do scallop kite. Now white is my top color, so I see these 2 already done, and then I see these 2 on the bottom, so it's just the 1 slice, and then I already know, just based off these patterns, that I'm going to get 3-3. So I do 3-3. I see that the bottom is solved and the top is diag, so I'm going to do my 3-3 alg, and then just do J perm, like double J, E2, and then check out how I can misalign to get a better EP. I see I have 2 G perms, so if I reserve the blocks, I'll get double U perm. I'm not good enough to know whether it's the same direction or opposite direction, but let's hope we get lucky. And we do get lucky. It's good double U-perms. And then AUF. Alright, so here's a scramble. We have Fist Muffin. So when I saw this, I usually do it from this angle. I don't actually know the CSP for this, because I learned it at one point, but I forgot it. But anyway, how I do it is basically I make a scallop, and then I move the line back down to form this shape, and then one more move to scallop kite. And I have this CO, so I just did it like this. And then I have LL, very good. And then for this PVL, I thought it was gonna be these two swapped on bottom. So if you split up this pair, like this opposite pair, you're gonna get Edge on top. Sometimes I'll look at this, sometimes I didn't. I don't actually remember if I looked at it or not, but I got lucky if I didn't, and got Edge, which I did from the front.
I traced odd for CSP. So how I solve this case is I make shield fist, and then paw in the back. Siauw, and then Eyou, and then we have JU, and you can solve this with 2 CP algs. So do JJ from here, and then I get another JJ.
For this scramble, I traced odd for CSP, so I can solve left fist mushroom like this by converting it into pon, and then solving that in the back. Then here, the CO case isn't that great, but what I would do is something like this, so that I have to do a U2 instead of a D2. I think it's maybe a bit better. To solve this EO case, I can just do the 3-3 out, and actually once I do CP, I'm going to get an EP skip. So I can just do J on bottom and then a D2.
Okay, so for this scramble, I'm going to turn it around like this in inspection. And then I got odd, so the odd alg for me is going to go like this. U2 on the top, and then 2 slices to similar pawn. Okay, now I'm going to solve CO, like that. EO like this. And you have a W on top, and I can't remember the PBL on bottom, but I know if I do a J perm, and then I go into W and add.
So the cube shape I did wasn't that good, but it ended up working, so that was okay. I just paired this up, and then reduced this to scallop kite, and I did scallop kite in front. CO was pretty good, 1 slice, and EO was just that. This case wasn't that good for CP, but it is what it is. And I ended up getting W for EP, which is pretty lucky, and I didn't need to flip this, so yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Tucker Chamberlain, and I currently average around high 6 to low 7 on Sq-1, and this is my walkthrough solve. Here we have the scramble. My trace for CSP is even, and this is how I solve it. I'm going to move this pair of 2 on the fist and slice to bring the line on top, and then solve it like this to bring it into pawn. And now I have a 3 slice CO into 3-3. And now I have AU, and how I can solve this is in 2 J perms by bringing this block on the A perm back here and bringing the U perm in front, and then misaligning both layers and doing JJ and then JJ with bar flip and then U2 D prime.
So hey guys, what's up? It's Asher, and I was asked to do this Sq-1 video. So yeah, this scramble is muffin fist, and I traced even, which is the good out. So pretty much I'm going to solve it. I'm going to turn it into shield fist. Then I'm going to turn it into this case. I don't know which one, but it's like 2 sets of pawn, and then there's the L. I'm going to bring it down to pawn, and I'll solve it like this. Then I will do CO like this. Then we have 3-3. I noticed I'm going to have, I think, opposite on the bottom and headlights on the top. Here I notice we have no parity. This is a pretty bad case because there's no bars on this top and there's a bar on the bottom, but you have to misalign to preserve it. So I'm just going to misalign on the bottom, do JN, and I get this case, which is W edge. And how I do it is I do an edge from here and then cancel into a Z perm. I think I've been.
Hey guys, I am Szabolcs and here is my example solve. So I don't know the CSP for this case, so I would connect these two edges to this edge and that gives me pawn barrel and I can easily reduce it to scallop kite like this. For the CO I got 3-3, but I solve the white side on top, so I would do it like this. The edge orientation is 1-1. And for the PBL I got R perm on top and G perm on bottom. I would do 2 J perms like this, and that gives me double U perm case, the bad one unfortunately. I would solve it with M2U to M2 and that gives me edge. And that's it.
So hello guys, here Flavio Rimi, and I'm gonna reconstruct myself for 20th corner one Scramble solve. And here's the case. I use large with KCSP and I'm gonna raise that. So yeah, I got even, which is for this case, which is fist mushroom, is going into fist shield into 3-3 opposite and moving only one layer to go into pom-pom. If it was odd, I have to do two layers to get this. So one layer and resolve pom-pom in the back. So I have black on top, so one slice of seal and 3-3 for the EO. And from here we have GF, which is pretty simple PBL because even the bars flip. So if you do from here GAJ, we get a good W perm. And this. Another way to solve can be solve if was on, but do a slice for change the parity. And that stick CO and 3-3 and get from here is AJ. So this was my solve and bye.
So for CS I had fist mushroom, and so no matter what I trace I set up to shield fist like that. And then here's where the parity comes in. So I traced odd, so instead of moving both layers and setting up 2 good pon-pon, I just move 1 layer like that, and that sets up to pon-pon in the back. And then I just finish off with 1 D prime like this, and then slice U slice. Now for CO, I did a D to pair these up, then did a U prime, D2 with pinky ring, and then I just had standard 3-3 alg, and then this pretty easy PBL. So I brought the headlights to the back, which isn't necessary for the solution. Pretty easy to alg PBL, just NN like this. And that sets up to JJ with flip, so that's JJ in the back, cancel into NN, and then ABF.
Hey guys, it's Elyas here, and I am not known well as a Sq-1er, but I like doing Sq-1, so yeah, I'll show you what I would do. Just quick note, I use white top, so yeah, you guys can follow on. So I would move this block to pair it with this, like that. Take this block, pair it up with this, and I would make scallop kite like this. And I'll do scallop cut like this in the front. I'll do what like this. 1-1. Headlights at the back, headlights at the back. J-perm. Sorry, JJ. These two swap. I'll do edge, and I'll do D prime, and do edge from the front, and then D2. Thank you.
So here we have a fist muffin. So I'd make it like this, making shield fist, aligning that, slicing that down to make this rocket shape, and then one more slice to make pawpaw, and then that. Next I have these two black corners, so I do black top, so I'm looking to make that, and then this bar on bottom, so I'll just do a D prime, and then slice that bar up, and then do U, slice this corner down to match up with that, and then U again to bring that all together. Next I have this 3 set of EO for EO, so I'll do that, and then I get left with an N perm on top and G perm on the bottom. So I'd align it like this, do JJ in front, and then I'm left with J N perm. So I just do that, and done.
Alright, so for this scramble, I traced even, and basically for the even elk, I do it like this. Then one slice CO into 3-3, and I have VU, which if I don't misalign this layer, I'm just gonna get a good U perm. So yeah.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's Micah here, and this will be my square one walkthrough solve. So this cube shape is left fist mushroom, which I trace starting from here and going clockwise on the fist. And for the mushroom, I trace here and go clockwise. So first, for edges, I just trace whichever color comes first. So this would be the black edges. And this is blue, red, orange. So that's no parity. Now for white edges, we have orange, red, blue. So we're at 1 parity right now. And then white corners come first. I'll just start with white corners. So we have orange, red, blue. So now we're back to even parity. And instead of like actually counting the parities, I would just say I'm back at 0 parities because that makes it easier for me. So now for black corners, we have green, blue, orange. So we're still at 0. Now we're going to do the odd edges. So we have black, 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 white. So we're at 1 parity now. Now odd corners, white, black, white, black. So we have 1 parity, which for me it means I'm going to move 1 layer after going into 3-3L. So I'll go into 3-3L like this and then move 1 layer. And now we have pon, which I can solve from the back like that. And then CO is just 1 slice. And now we have 3-3. And now we have TJ. So I can just know that I'm going to get a U perm on top.
Alright, so here's my walkthrough solve for Rom's video. So here we have fist muffin. So what we can do is reduce this to scallop fist. You can bring this group of 2 up here, and this will connect here. So my little group of 2 for the fist will be right here. And my L will be this piece and this piece. So I'll do that, track the L, which is right here. Solve that like that. And now you have scallop kite. Next we have a 1 slice CO. And here I see that we have diag and then solved on the bottom. And we have 3-3 as our EO, so I'll do 3-3. And I'll just go right into diag on top. And then the W perms.
Oh, in this case, I know this. That's what I permit.
shoot fist, and then I will do R3, and then I will make it into shoot square, and then I'll do a 4, and then I'll make it into a square, and then 6, make it into this, and then I'll do this. This is a very easy EO. And then I have this easy case UJ.
Okay, so we have fist muffin, which isn't a good cube shape, but it's okay. So I convert this to scallop fist in one slice. So I pair up these two, so this pair and this pair, and I get scallop fist. And during scallop kite, I look down here to see there like any black pieces are here, and there's none. So, yep. And then one slice Siauw into 3-3. And then I have no parity. I have a U perm and a V perm. And for V perm, I don't know why I shouldn't do this, but I always put my block in the front and then do whatever CP I'll get. In this case, it's N on top. And then I do D prime and I get a good W perm with a U AUF. So you just do adj and cancel into op like that, and then U AUF. So yeah.
So that's about it for 33 Sq-1ers, 1 Scramble. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. Goodbye.